Hey guys, welcome back. It is your favorite Gimp of the Limp, and I'm here with just a quick update for you all. Something I stumbled upon earlier, and this went up just a couple of days ago over on BGG. And this is the continuing saga of Mythic games and the bullcrap that they pulled, especially this fella, Leonidas Vesperini. He put up a little letter here in response to someone putting up a title talking about him being a piece of crap and all this stuff. And dude, he's still on this I want to play the victim card nonsense. Sorry, you don't get to play the victim. You screwed over millions. You blew millions through your sheer stupidity, you and your cohorts. You don't get to cry victim, especially not after the shit you're pulling here. All right, so we're just going to read this out. Hello, everyone. This is Leo. Things have gone way too far. Yeah, I would say so. I try to stay away from blogs and social networks as much as possible, but I've been told things that have been said and written that are presented as truths, and while I probably shouldn't interfere, I'm going to come here anyway, just now, and that's it. Because he's not going to respond to anybody. To set some things straight, let me warn you up front, I will not be replying here anymore. I'm doing this just to protect my family and so that those who are capable of listening to me and sorting things out will have a different version of the facts. First of all, I'd like to sincerely apologize to all those who were deceived. He says it himself. Deceived. Right here. Deceived. Right? Not accident, not we made mistakes, deceived. Who believed in us, who lost money, or who were simply disappointed. Oh, I'm so oh God, if you were right here, right there. My thoughts are with you, and I understand your disappointment, anger. No, you don't. I never thought this would end up like this. We did the best we could. No, you didn't. Given the very difficult situation we found ourselves in, we tried to deliver as many games as possible instead of filing for bankruptcy. Maybe we should have done things differently, but you can be sure that we fought really hard and that a lot of things were stacked against us. We're still fighting. We're still waiting for some answers. Some creditors have owed us money for months that we're trying to collect. When we get those final answers, we'll make an official statement. I'm very sorry for anyone who has lost money or confidence because of us. Are you serious? You are the biggest loser when it comes to Kickstarter. You are the face of incompetence, right? When people talk about companies who do badly when it comes to Kickstarter, you're the creme de la creme. You're the top of the top. You have screwed so many people. It's not like you did this with one game. You have up-team game. Was it six? Six? I know I'm owed 3 that I know I will never. God, I kick myself for backing. Oh, I kick myself for backing any of their products because I can't get any of that back. This guy literally pissed money down the drain. And his facts piss me off because there's no facts. It's sheer incompetence. Kickstarter is not that hard. I've talked to plenty of companies, publishers who used it. When you get that money in, you have, and especially a company the size of Mythic Games with the amount of games they were producing, you already have those numbers estimated and lined up, and that money gets locked away. All right, so let's say you do a Kickstarter and get $200,000 and it costs $100 to produce the games or, whatever, something along those lines. It doesn't cost anywhere near what the Kickstarter charges, right? Plenty of these games wholesale, like the actual cost to the publisher might be $18, might be $20 when they're selling it for $100. A lot of labor and cost, all this stuff gets added in, shipping is whatever, to add into that, and they still have to make a profit on top. I get that. No qualms there. But that money should have been locked down and not able to be touched. So no matter what happened, the games could still be produced. He did not do that. He just threw it in there. Let's hire a bunch of people. Instead of taking on the work themselves, they doubled the workforce. Gave, I'm sure, exorbitant salaries that bit them in the ass. Their biggest cost, I guarantee, was labor. Their labor. Mythic Games employees' labor. And they did not have a chopping line for where they needed to be able to produce the goods. So then they just started that pyramid scheme of one Kickstarter after the next. All right, so second, I'd like to correct a number of these false rumors that are unfortunately being presented as facts. Never, I repeat, never have we embezzled money. Neither Benalt, some French guy, nor have I, I guess is what he's going for. And if we are accused of doing so, we will defend ourselves vigorously. It's true that our payroll was too high. I said it already because we chose to hire people whenever we could instead of hiring externals in precarious situations. Yeah, you hired a bunch of people and you gave salaries that were well above what they should have been. So you ate up all of your profits and all of the money that was supposed to go to producing stuff. Some people dig up everything about me, post on social networks or blogs like this one. I'm harassed, and some members of these blogs make humiliating remarks. Others react by thinking that what is being described is the truth. It's understandable that if what's being said is true, there's reason to be shocked. Sorry, my pup was going crazy. I'm recording this late at night. My pup was sitting next to me. He was getting into stuff. All right, where were we with his BS? It's understandable what's being said is true. There's reason to be shocked. But what I don't understand is the lack of hindsight and the lack of verification of information. What information, dude? You updated no one. You literally went dark. So no wonder people speculated. They could only go on the little bits of information they were able to glean. And what people have been able to understand is that you pissed away all their money and then came out like Oliver going, hey, give me more. You made people pay twice for... Oh, bastard had one of his chew toys and he was banging it on my office door. Damn dog's driving me nuts. He's quiet all evening. I took 5 minutes to record this and now he wants to play and bounce stuff. Any dog owners will get it. I was complaining about Rainbow Six Siege. He charged people extra just to get Darkest Dungeon. And then with Six Siege, he made people pay more than double what the Kickstarter was originally charged for. So if you paid $100 for Six Siege originally, then they wanted $150 more on top of it to actually get the game. And you only produce the games for those who paid the extortion fee. You literally use the money from those who had paid for the game originally to fund it for those who paid for it twice, or actually no telling where that money went. The only reason those people even got anything is because they were willing to be dunces and pay for it twice. And I'm sitting here like, should I have paid for it twice? But it's principle of thing. It's like, no, I'm not going to pay for it twice just to get the damn game because you're keeping part of that. I know the production cost isn't what he was charging, right? I think mine all told was, and I got the very base level pledge. He wanted something like $145, $150, and I think that was even before tax. There's no way that was the cost just to get. If anything, he should have charged what the wholesale value was and whatever it would have cost to actually get it to the person. That was not going to be $150, right? That wouldn't have been $150 for the all-in pledge. The cost is just not that high, right? People think that these games cost a fortune to make. They don't, right? Depending if they got minis or not, it can vary. But a lot of these games don't cost anywhere near what they're charged for retail. There's a fairly high margin with these board games. He's charging way, way, way too much for these people to get it. So no one believes any of your BS. You're talking about their erroneous conclusions. No, it's yours. People speculate on personal information, draw erroneous conclusions, and pass these conclusions as fact. But this is a lie. Unfortunately, very few people have the hindsight to see what is being said is wrong. And it's very painful to be systematically presumed guilty and have to justify that you're not. In the French justice system, and I assume the same in the U.S., you are presumed innocent and only answer to the law. We had to do that for Mythic games already. We may have to do it again. And so far, the courts have always ruled in our favor. They shouldn't. Sorry, you guys are a bunch of fraudsters. You did embezzle people's money. Kickstarter is an investment. We invest with you to get a return on our investment. Our investment is to get the game. Yes, it's become a pre-order system, but technically we're supposed to be investing in the company. If we invest in a company and you mismanage the funds, that's wrong. That's embezzling from the company, right? It's criminal, right? You should be charged. You should be strung up in the streets like the French do. Social networks are not to be public court where you can say anything with impunity. Are you kidding me? You have the gall to complain about what people are saying? I'm forced to give details of my personal life here, which is very uncomfortable. I don't care how uncomfortable you are. But I'll do it for those who are able to listen to me and make up their own minds. Neither Benoit nor I have paid ourselves since the beginning of Mythic Games problems. And you overpaid yourself to begin with, so no, you shouldn't be paid now. Our personal financial situation is very difficult. I have a feeling that's what people want, so they'll be happy to read this. No, I don't want it difficult. I want you destroyed. I have tried to get back on my feet by asking my family for help. My brother and father have invested $40,000 and $20,000 respectively. Well, then your brother and father are morons. In an investment company, I have to try to make a living. For my part, I borrowed $40,000 from the bank, which I have to pay back. And you should have to pay back everyone that backed any of these games. You blew their money, you should be paying them all back. And I don't care if you have to do that till you're 90. Some people are even saying that I have 2 companies with the same name, which is ridiculous. Why would you think that people would think, why wouldn't you think people would think that? You have given no information. You've acted extremely shady. You've been negligent with our money. Of course, we're going to assume the worst of you because you're a bad human being, right? On the scale of, Jesus to, the devil, bad people, right? You're about here, all right? You're shit. Deal with it. Some people are even saying I'm a 2 company. The court clerk made a mistake when registering the company. That's all. There's only 1 company. I don't buy that. I could 100% see this guy trying to create basically a shell company. Long story short, basically you see it on some of those bankrupt or don't pay, they'll take it away type shows where someone will close the previous company and have a new company that has all the new assets and they bought it, and they really aren't creating a new company. What they're doing is they're basically getting around their debts so they don't have to pay their suppliers or whoever that they owe, and they get to keep all their stuff. They're just being shady about it, and I think he tried to do that here. My bank account is 0. Your bank account has too much in it then. I live on what little I have with the help of my wife. How can your bank account be 0 and what little I have? It sounds like I live off my wife and whatever funds I still have hidden away that people don't know about. I don't own a home. I rent my apartment. I don't own a car. Unfortunately, my wife and family help me out. Your wife should divorce you. Sorry. She's not a smart woman for staying. She should get a guy that's not a crook, not a scam artist, and go with him. She'd be a lot better off. A few months ago, not recently, but I hope these new messages don't restart the machine, we were doxxed, we received death threats, and I went to the police to file a complaint several times. I don't endorse people threatening anyone. I really don't think that that's a good idea. I think that ultimately hurts our position, but I don't blame people for being very angry. Now, they should leave the family out of it. Right? It's not his wife's fault. It's not his kid's fault. So sending threats their way is just bad juju. And I'm willing to bet, if I had to guess, that a lot of the threats probably came from the U.S. because people in the U.S. can be a little entitled. And I could see them sending that type of threat. There's really nothing they can do. Even if it was illegal in France, people in other countries aren't subservient to French law, just like others aren't subservient to our law. So there's really not a whole lot that can be done about it, but leave the guy's family alone, right? Say all the bad stuff about him you want. He's shit. He's a pile of dung. 100%. Just shit person. You see him, you call him a dummy. Whatever. But kids, no. You don't mess with a man's family. That's off limits. We're better than that. Our company, Mythic Games, has failed, but we don't want to be victims, and we're accepting this failure without You've done nothing but minimize it. All up there. As I said before, we're waiting for answers to certain outstanding questions before making a public announcement. Without seeking sympathy, again, we understand people's disappointment and anger. It's not anger, it's rage. We don't deserve these overreactions and harassment. Just because a company has problems or goes bankrupt doesn't mean its leaders are necessarily dishonest or incompetent. Oh my God, you are beyond incompetent. Yeah, Kickstarters were exploding, especially in the time frame that you did a lot of these campaigns. Now, yes, the economy has gone very badly in recent years, but in the past years, when you did a lot of these, I remember in the 2016 to 2020 range, I would say that, I had the funds. I could back a Kickstarter a month if I wanted to. Just a little extra money, back a Kickstarter here, back a Kickstarter there. A lot of the games I had bought from him were backed during that time frame. You could make money hand over fist doing Kickstarters. It wasn't hard. Now, I'm not a businessman. I'm not going to claim to be, all knowing. But after talking to many who do run Kickstarter campaigns, if you have a decent IPs, you had some of the best freaking Darkest Dungeon. It is a huge video game base. You literally just make the game and it sell itself, All you had to do was not waste the money. That's all you had to do. Set aside the amount it would need to, in totality, get the product to the person. That's it. Everything else was profit. Everything else could be paid to you and all those billions of employees you hired. Instead, you didn't do that. And then you kept not doing that. And now these people are screwed over. And they're pissed. They're rightfully pissed. I can't tell from his comments, but it appears like he has or is going to file bankruptcy. Last I had checked, he hadn't. But there's no way he doesn't. The company is insolvent. It can't pay its debts. It can't fill the orders that it sold. It has less than nothing. They are bankrupt. The only thing I could see him doing is selling off the IPs that he has. I believe he's done that with most of them. people that were commenting throughout the rest of this thread. I'll put it down in the description. That way you guys can go read the whole thread. I mean, they're just thrashing these guys, so they rightfully should. I'm surprised they even made a comment. But some of the projects have been passed on to other companies. They're going to give backers a little something, but nowhere near what they paid for. Honestly, at this point, I would just kill for any company to take the games that he has left. So at least we get something. At least something comes out of it versus having everything be wasted. And no, he doesn't get to sell the thing. If he had any integrity, if he had any honesty in him, he would be offering, we'll give you all of our stuff, all of our images, all of our rules, all of our, product to this point, and we'll give it to you for free if you just make sure the backers get something, right? Even if it's just the base version of the game. Give the acquiring company that head start to be able to produce the game for people. At least the people will get something. That's what a man of honor would do. He would fold over backwards to try to take care of the people that invested in him, and he let so many down. But I don't think he would do that. I think he would try to come out even, try to sell the IP rather than give the IP. He should be here's Monster Apocalypse. Here's Darkest. Good God, there are still people who don't have Darkest Dungeon. I've had that game for well over a year, and there are still people that did not get it. Still people like me who didn't get Six Siege, didn't get Monster Apocalypse. He's got something else out there that I know I backed, but at least 6 other games. 2 of them already got picked up. Give it out. Just give it away, dude. Just offer to help create the game for free. Whatever you got to do to get it made so it goes into people's hands. At least they get something. Recoup a little bit of honor from all this crap that you have caused, all this devastation. Yes, it's going to take you years to recoup personally from this, and it should, because you screwed the pooch royally. And how you screwed the pooch with just such good IPs. I mean, my God. Darkest Dungeon. I mean, it's a huge game. It's got millions of sales on 2 games on multiple platforms. And you couldn't deliver a Kickstarter on that when you made millions off of it? You're an idiot. All right, I'll stop the rant. Check the link below. Go read it for yourself. The company's going to go bankrupt. I had very little help that I was going to get anything out of it, but it seems like that's pretty well shit the bed at this point. Anything you've got outstanding with Mythic Games, it's not going to come in. Your best hope is that another company picks up the IP and tries to market it so you get at least a little something. I mean, hell, even, hey, we can't give it to you for free, but we'll give you 50% off, 70% off, whatever. Just cover the cost of production for backers, something like that. At least something to get the game in people's hands. All right, I'm off here. You guys put your comments down below. Let me know what you think. Y'all take care. Catch you next.